we always talk about SPY. If you guys don't know what SPY is, that is the top 500 publicly traded companies all in one index. That is the SPY. That is the index. You can buy this and you'll have a portfolio. You could buy this and you'll have a plethora of stocks within one stock, right? Long story short, man, the reason why we look at this is because it gauges the market. Every week, you guys know we've been talking about this 700 target. You know we've been playing in this box when I talk about support resistance. We're still between that 680 and 696 now. We've made new highs to a high at 697, man. This box that I have colored right here, man, that's the brick wall that I'm calling. That's the brick wall that I'm calling, my brother, because every time we get up here, you see, we hit this thing, we get up here, we hit it, and we just reject. We got up here the other day, and we rejected, bro. So I started calling it the brick wall, and I had to look into. It was no longer about technical analysis for me anymore, bro. It started to become about fundamental analysis. I'm like, why is it that when we get to this level we keep rejecting?
Right.
You know, what do we need? And it brought up some key things. I got some key things that I wanted to touch, and it's not gonna be too much, but it made me realize something new that I didn't really think of before is the fact that the market has already priced all the stuff in that we have. You know, there's no new news, no new forecast in the economy, which is causing the institutions and other investors to not want to push it higher than this right here.
Right.
Right. We already know about the Trump. We already know about the interest rates. We already know about the inflation and tariffs. All that stuff is already priced in. So that's what's causing it to fail to get above that, right? So with that being said, man, we back here to last week's low to 684. I thought we was gonna get a little higher, but it just kept going right back lower. So whoever's been trading in this range, you know, these is easy trades because you get to one level, oh, it rejects, it's going back to the other level. You get to the next level, it goes right back up to the up, it goes right back down. So, man, that's what SPY is looking like, man. As far as current news today, what do we have? There's nothing current as far as what TradingView wants to put up on us, but hey,
I think we did have red folder today.
we had some red folder.
I think so.
Break that down. What is red folder news for us, brother?
It's major news within the U.S. economy that would affect the market as it's dropped. So, like we have FOMC, that was last week. That was red folder news, you know, and we got, I mean, not on the day when we were looking at it, but the day after, it was major volatility throughout all the markets. I think gold started kind of crashing that day or the day on that Thursday. Silver was also low, Bitcoin low, everything. So when it comes to red folder news, it's just to determine where the market is going. You know what I'm saying, and how to understand it after that.
Yeah, we talked about that one of them recent both Wednesdays episodes. Sorry about that. We talked about how the news lines up with the market, and that we call that fundamental analysis.
Yeah.
So, man, thank you for the breakdown, man. So that's SPY for you guys. That's the S&P 500 and how the stocks is looking.
I got a question though, real quick.
Go ahead.
What you I see that we come down. You just like you said, the brick wall, right? And multiple times prices tapped and rejected. What do you predict would happen once we break this 700 or this brick wall? Let's call it. What are we doing? Are we going higher into the 700s? Are we touching it one time and then leaving it alone? How are you feeling about that?
So that's a great question. And you know, we had that fake breakout here. I just wanted to point that at to 697, and it didn't hold above. So when we get to that point where we get above that this brick wall and we hold above it, obviously we want to see that retest, like I've talked about. You want to see that break and that retest. I think when we break and I see that hold above, we finally get that breathing room to go up higher, right? So, and then 700 plus. So I think that we will eventually see, when it gets above that, we see that 700 plus, right? We can even take the tool right here and just from 696 from that brick wall all the way up to, let's say, you know, so that's 1%. 1% is, let me go down. 1% gain is 703. So say we get a 5% gain over, you know, the course of the next few months, you know what I'm saying? That's 2%, 212. 4%, 726. My bad, y'all. Let me get it up there. Okay, 5%. 5% right here, $732. So Now, that's a good question again, because I want you guys as viewers to think about that. We've been talking about the range of $684 and $696. I mean, that would be crazy to say that SPY is at $730, $740.
Yeah. What does that look like for our economy too? Not just SPY, but are we lower interest rates? You feel me? What are we?
So how does that look, right? Because SPYs, these are all-time highs, right? And the important thing to look at is this chart, man. Over time, this is why it's important for you to buy your investments and hold them. You see, 2016, we could start there. That's $162. So from 2016, you went from 162 to now you're at $700 damn near in 2025 over 10 years, right? And that's a crazy game, you know?
Yeah,
and that's it.
Over time, it's obviously different with stocks. Can you see the percentage? That's 700%, but what does that look like for the?
No, it's not seven. You meant $700. My bad. 300%.
300%. Got you. So that's a 3x.
So that's 300% on your money over the last 10 years, and that's slow growth because you're in an index, right? The index are the safer investments because, like I told you, you get a variety of stocks under, in one stock basically, right? And that's diversification. Diversification across different stocks causes you to move a little slower, a little safer, a little bit more predictable than just investing into, let's say, we could use, NVIDIA and having, over the last year, thousands of percent of the last 5 years, so that's SPY for us, man. I'm gonna hand it over to you. Let's talk about this Bitcoin because that's what's really going crazy, man. That crypto, we gotta talk about that crypto.
Gotta talk about the crypto, man. Remember, I was telling you, just put this here. Telling you before, if we broke that level of 76,000, then we would be in a bull or bearish market. And talking about where price is now, we're at 72,900. Let's just say it's 73,000, right, for Bitcoin. This is a great time for traders, especially if you have the capital to trade Bitcoin. In spaces where there are a lot of traders, personally, I have seen that a lot of people are really selling the market, selling the Bitcoin market specifically, due to gold having an all-time high, right? And so gold being that safe haven asset, right? And Bitcoin also being like that digital store of value. Those both can be going up at the same time, ultimately, because one is, like I said, gold is safe haven asset, as well as Bitcoin being that digital store of value. Kind of like the same thing, but gold is tangible. It's tangible. You can hold it, touch it, throw it, kiss it, all the shit. So with gold going up, hitting all-time high of $5,600, Bitcoin is bound to crash, right? And that's what we're seeing here. We broke that level, and we broke. I forget which one I marked it under. I think it was it wasn't this one. I just put this one. There was one here. It was about it was like 76K, and as we see, we came up to this resistance level here, went a little bit past it, and broke it. 97K. That was January 14th. Yeah, that sounds about right. We came back, zooming in a little bit.
You can remove the lines too, so they can see better if you need to.
I'm gonna remove this one. And we had a bounce off of that level and a bounce off of this level too, so I'm gonna leave those two. Yeah, with that being said, there's a bit of a panic in the crypto space due to Bitcoin kind of crashing, right, and going to that lower level of 70 in the 70,000s. And if we look at CoinMarketCap right here, we over the last 30 days, it has been down market, almost 30, not the whole 30, but matter of fact, I'm gonna come with that the next time. Watch this. I'm gonna come with that. But the crypto market is down about almost. I think it's a little over 30%. It's definitely down over the year, but as we can see right here, it says altcoin season index, right? When we were talking about Bitcoin when it was at the 90,000s, the lower 80,000s, we had the altcoin season index around like 14% or 14 out of 100.
Yeah.
12 out of 100, you know. Now we're moving up. This is 34, and it doesn't really reflect that necessarily when it comes to the altcoins, because we see Ethereum hitting its, I think it's like 100, it's 365-day low, 52-week low. And we haven't seen a $2,000 Ethereum in hella long. Like,
Yeah, bro. Last time I looked at Ethereum, it was 4,000.
Exactly.
Since I looked at that.
And that was around here. Ah, liar. Hold on.
So how do you feel about Ethereum for the viewers, man?
Yeah, Ethereum definitely. Okay, so